Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between the OGS's TheWinD versus Werra's August. So it's AugustWerra versus oGsTheWind. Yeah, sometimes the clan name's at the front, sometimes the clan name's at the back. Don't know why. Don't ask me. Back over here, we do have oGsTheWind spawning as the red Zerg player at the 7 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have August spawning as the blue Terran player over here at the 5 o'clock position here in the Delta Quadrant. So Delta Quadrant, one of those interesting maps released after the StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty, not available in the beta, and I really like this map. AugustWerra does have the ability to use this low ground expansion. However, it will be fairly close for any Mutalisk from the oGsTheWind. So he has to really be careful about this expansion over here on the right hand side, this ledge. Any sort of Mutalisk harassment or even Broodlords can rain down damage. Not that Broodlords are an easy unit to tech to. Back over here, August now throwing down a 10 supply depot over here at his front door in order to do some sort of wall-in. Now, this is one of those issues where the Terran players, sometimes their wall-ins are very effective, sometimes they're not. This is one of those maps where the wall-in is not going to be that effective just because the positioning on the supply depot and the Baneling bust allows for easy access into the base. You cannot put a barracks right here, and that's the issue with this wall-in for August. Since he cannot put a barracks right here along this side, the weak buildings allow easy access to a Terran mineral line. Back over here, we do see August now doing some scouting, quickly finding the 14, or I believe that's a 14 spawning pool, maybe a 13 spawning pool being laid down by OGS's TheWinD. We also see this SCV now running around, and are we going to get a hatchery? It looks like we are going to get a hatchery being thrown down at the natural expansion, so that hatchery will be completed and will be down in time, and that SCV unable to deny it, unable to just circle around that hatchery there. Back over here, we do have the barracks now being completed, and we also seen on 400 minerals as well. So it looks, yes, August also throwing down a 15 command center. So a 15 command center, one of those weird maneuvers. oGsTheWind now training up Marine, but will need to try to get some Marauders in order to take down this expansion over here. What he may also try to do is just try to keep up in the economic game by just training SCVs from this command center as well. By being able to train up SCVs from double command centers, he may be able to neutralize that hatchery advantage by the time he is able to take down this destructible rocks and then move over here. Back over here, we do have this Overlord now still scouting around, and the Marine now making his way over. No, not making his way over to destroy those rocks, as this hatchery is going to be completed. One Overlord sitting here, one Zergling on that front door. And do we see Roach Warren? So we now see a Roach Warren. Not quite sure why we see the Roach Warren as opposed to Banelings, but I do not think that oGsTheWind knows about this command center over here. If he did, then he would not try to be going for Roach Warrens. He would probably be trying to be going for that Baneling. Back over here, Roach Warren will complete. And now we should probably see some Roaches being trained up. Roaches taking 75 minerals, 25 gas. One of those gas-friendly units that are easy to mass. Back over here, that Queen nearing completion will be able to start spawning larvae in just a moment. And now upgrading to an orbital command as well. So now mining some gas off of this location. Not quite sure. Yeah, SCVs were sitting idle. Going to start mining off of this. And now we may see some SCVs being trained and then moved over here. Also calling down some orbital commands. Is this Overlord going to catch this command center? Yes, he is going to catch this orbital command there. So oGsTheWind does know about that natural expansion that is being completed, and now more SCVs being trained. Harvester count, we see 20 for August versus oGwind's 19. But with that additional mule, he should be able to get an even stronger economic advantage as he's training up more and more SCVs. Now throwing down more racks production-wise, stopping on his SCV production. So not quite sure what that's about. That's one of the reasons why you want an additional orbital command. Over here, we do have some Roaches now putting a little bit of pressure on some of these supply depots. Perhaps the Roaches can fire from over here with a range of 3 and have that Overlord in the air to gain sight. So that would actually be a very effective harassment. oGsTheWind also getting some Overlords here and knowing when these rocks are going to be taken down. Back over here, Marines may try to come back down. No, not going to come down, as those Roaches just moving around back and forth. Those Marines, not a good counter towards those Roaches, as Roaches have a base armor of 1. Back over here, we do see the metabolic boost now being researched. No tech to tier 2 yet. So with no tech to tier 2, we also see that Baneling nest now coming into play. So OGS's TheWinD now going to go for Banelings, and Mules now still being called down. So August is going to have a very strong economic jump in terms of minerals in just a moment. Now mining with double Mules, so you're going to see him get up to about 1100, maybe even 12, and still training up more and more SCVs. We do see a reactor now being thrown down, but I do not see, we do also have a factory. We need to see some sort of starport play, I would assume. Otherwise, I'm not 100% sure how effective these Marines and these Marauders are going to be the whole entire time. Back over here, this barracks now with no additional add-on, and now August just getting a lot of bunkers in position. We do see what the Roaches down here on the low ground, and it is going to try to go for some sort of Baneling bust. August now very smart, throwing down some additional bunkers to try to stop this. So Baneling's now going to perhaps try to do a little bit of a push. Will it be effective? Now 1 Baneling, 2 Banelings, 3, 4 Banelings, and now too many bunkers, however, on that high ground. So wow, 8 Marines in bunkers able to hold off that whole entire Baneling bust. Perhaps Roaches right here, I think, with that range of 3, could have taken this down and done some damage. But no, too many Marines in bunkers with a range of 6. Marauders finally joining in on this fight to take down these destructible rocks. Taking a look at the harvester count, 31 for August, 26 for TheWinD. And now we see some Zerglings trying to take down these destructible debris. Not taking down, oh, and also taking down these as well. You gotta remember, destructible debris have 3 armor, so Zerglings are only gonna be doing 2 damage per attack, per little peck that they do with their claws. So Roaches will be able to infinitely help in this whole entire fight, probably dealing much more damage per second, just because 2 damage per second times point. I'm not gonna do the math. Wait, I'll do the math. This is 6 damage per 2 minutes, 2 seconds. This is 13. Yeah, so 100% better. Back over here, we have some overlords now in the air. As we some overlords over here as well, we see OGS's TheWinD now able to gain sight onto these SCVs, also knowing that he is not mining gas out of this location. Back over here, Overlord still moving very slowly as one SCV going to run into a swarm of Zerglings and get torn apart. Back over here, we do have some Marines trying to shoot down this one Overlord, but not going to waste a scanner sweep on one Overlord, as that is not very economical. Over here, we are now seeing that tier 2 and now getting the infestation pit. So infestation pit, a very, very important building for tier 3 and also for infestors for that neuroparasite fungal growth. We'll see if it's going to be used in conjunction with the Baneling and the centrifugal hooks to try to take out this large MM army that August has been massing up so far. We should be seeing a starport. Yeah, a starport with the reactor there. Double training medevacs as soon as we can get some supply depots down. Also getting an armory in the back, so we may be trying to go for some sort of Thor build as well. Thor is a very, very strong addition. We do have some overlords and just surrounding the base of August, making sure that he does not try to escape and try to get out of here. Another reactor being thrown down by a barracks as this front door is now wide open, and with a lot of Marines, Marauders, and Marines and Marauders just focusing on that very, very tight channel and corridor. In comes an Overlord. Overlord, however, still moving very, very slowly. And now we have this hatchery being placed down here and here. So OGS's TheWinD will be able to get a strong economic advantage as more drones are getting transferred over. 60 harvesters for OGS's TheWinD as this hatchery is going to be completed. Doing some long distance mining, mistiming this by about 5 seconds. However, Banelings with that centrifugal hook research will be able to get there very quickly. Overlords now quickly being shooed away as medevacs dropping onto that high ground. However, that Overlord down to 70 hit points, may be able to barely escape there. No medevac's not going to try to pick up those units and then drop back down over here. And now finally going to go ahead and pick up over here, and now perhaps do another drop, now going after this Overlord, delaying this whole entire very mobile army. Back over here, we finally have OGS mining out of this location. So 2,000 harvester mineral. And now we see, I thought I saw something over here for a second. A little bit of blue. Nope. Medevacs, weapons upgrade. I do not see an engineering bay. So with no engineering bay, these Marines will be, oh no, there is an engineering bay because they are 1-1. There it is, double engineering base. How can I miss that? So double engineering base, armory is down for perhaps those level 2 weapons upgrade, and now an overlord sitting, an overseer sitting here. So we may try to get for some sort of Nidus worm back here as well. We are at tier 2, so that's not too out of the question. We are getting Spire, we are getting the Neural Parasite, and the movement upgrade for those roaches as well. So now we also see these infestors moving out. A quick scanner sweep revealing those infestors, and that's always got to be a sad sign. OGS, now are we going to get a very nice fungal growth on those units there? Constantly going to be taking damage, depleting the energies of those medevacs, constantly healing, and there we go. Also, they were stimmed, so a stimmed, non-mobile group of Marines, just a very, very sad sight. And another fungal growth hitting a couple of those units. Zerg is now going to do a quick swarm, and that is going to be a bad sign there, as those banelings do not want to sacrifice themselves against one unit there. Down goes that last Marauder, another Marauder getting taken down back here. We do have a very large army, 2,900 versus 1,950. But the oGsTheWind has a very strong unit combination with these banelings and roaches and infestors, and it really will depend on how well those fungal growths are hitting, and whether or not he can take down those medevacs and start depleting them as well. Siege tanks now starting to move to that low ground. One overlord quickly gets shot down, as we are now getting 27 roaches. Wow, 27 roaches now going to be scampering out and starting to swarm this whole entire map, as we are now seeing a nice drop in the at the high yield expansion over here. So another drop moving around the map, and now using that high ground against them. Are we going to get some fungal growth? In comes a fungal growth. Zerglings now trying to come in and trying to swarm as well, and those Zerglings going to be able to finish off that fight, and those units were able to be picked up at the last moment, perhaps dropped down once again. And those infestors just still sitting here. No burrow being researched yet. Okay, as soon as I said it, burrow being researched by oGsTheWind. We are getting the level 2 weapons upgrade, level 2 armor upgrades, and the concussive shells, and a planetary fortress at the natural expansion on the low ground. So right now, TheWinD now taking running off of 4 bases versus eventually 3 bases of August. August doing a great job trying to stay in this game still. He has a strong army, but Mutalisk now may be able to pick off of some of these medevacs, and that's going to be a very, very sad sight indeed for those medevacs. The Marines and Marauders are upgraded to 1, and now we are also getting the level 1 vehicle upgrade. So level 1 vehicle upgrade also going to be very strong. I got it, yeah. Level 2 armor upgrades nearing completion as well. Only needs about 7 or 60 more units of time, down to 50. Mutalisk now going to finish off the rest of these Marines here. They're able to deal a lot of damage, but quickly going to get picked off down there. Over here, we do have some Marauders now coming in. A Queen trying to come in and join in on this fight as well. Down goes that. And now down goes that last Marauder here. A large swarm of units in the center of the map, and quickly going to be revealed. A nice scanner sweep onto that high ground. Siege tanks may decide to try to siege up before pressing and try to contain this whole entire attack. But no, oGsTheWind now in a very, very dominant position on high ground, and may be able to outflank August. These units now trying to push forward very, very slowly. Roaches moving out, banelings moving in, fungal growth, and this army just getting destroyed as these roaches continue to push through. Marines now fungal growth as well, taking so much damage. Roaches pushing in army-wise. August taking so much damage in this fight, and now Neural Parasite grabbing the siege tanks, and that is going to hurt even further as these siege tanks are going to start destroying their brethren. These siege tanks, however, need to get focused down. Down they go, and the roaches turning on the siege tanks before the Neural Parasite has been completed, and August down to an 800 mineral army compared to oGsTheWind to 1750. Beautifully done by oGsTheWind. Getting a Neural Parasite, getting those banelings constantly moving and pressing with that attack. That was absolutely huge for him in that engagement. And now he does not have an economic advantage though. He's currently mining a little bit behind. Needs to get more drones over here. Harvester count, he lost a lot in all of this harassment. There are a couple of spine crawlers here. oGsTheWind really needs to start power droning perhaps. But if he starts to power drone, his army is going to be very, very depleted. Another fungal growth hitting a lot of these Marauders and these units here, and just stuck there. Marines may die. They're finally deciding to pull back, do not want to engage, want the help of some of those siege tanks. Back over here, we do have more and more units still being trained up. Level 3 upgrades for the engineering bay. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between AugustWerra and TheWinD here on not Metalopolis, the Delta Quadrant.